Hey, so are you feeling down and defeated because your social anxiety, it came back? You thought you were in the clear, you were doing good for a while, you're on a roll socially, but then all of a sudden, like with a vengeance, it came back. The overwhelming symptoms, the ruminating thoughts, the being stuck in your head. Now you're in this place where you're feeling down, you're feeling defeated, and you're wondering, am I ever gonna break free from this thing? Am I ever gonna break free from social anxiety for good? In this video, I wanna help you understand a key mindset that you're missing here. I really wanna help you understand because your recovery process, your transformational process, doesn't need to be this painful. It doesn't need to be this up and down and this frustrating. And I want to take away some of that overwhelming pressure that you're putting on yourself. Okay, so let's dive in. Let's not waste any time. Let's go. And if you're already a part of our community, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Rubin. I'm a transformational coach. This channel is dedicated to reducing your social anxiety, owning your value, and expressing yourself fearlessly. Okay, so if that's something you resonate with, welcome home. Welcome home. Let's get into this right now. Okay, so first and foremost, I think this is a very, very important thing for you to understand, and I want you to make this adjustment so the next time this happens, let's say you get triggered, it doesn't feel so heavy for you. So whenever you feel this, you're in this place where I'm good now. So maybe you worked on a bunch of triggers, you're feeling pretty good, you're more social, and you're like, oh, thank goodness, it's gone, I'm good. What a relief, I'm in the clear. Big mistake. Big mistake. And the reason that is a big mistake is because you shifted into a fixed mindset and you stopped learning about yourself. And this learning about yourself, it's a lifetime commitment. Lifetime commitment. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people see, I made this myself when I was going through it, but when they are trying to recover from social anxiety is, can you recover from social anxiety? Can you move beyond the control of this anxiety? Absolutely, yes. But can you overcome being human? And there's a very blurred line here. And you want to get very clear about this, because at what point are you trying to overcome and get your anxiety to go away? And at what point is that getting into the realm of, I don't even want to be human anymore. I don't even want to have feelings anymore. I don't ever want to be vulnerable anymore. Okay, and so you can work on your anxiety, the extreme symptoms. You can make it so your mind's not blanking out all the time. You can make it so your heart's not racing so much. You can make it so you're not constantly in your head thinking of what to say. Just some examples here. But at the same time, is that ever not going to happen to you ever again? Are you ever going to get to the place where your mind never blanks out again? You never lose your train of thought? Your voice never shakes one bit? You don't never get a little bit nervous? Okay? You don't get in your head a little bit thinking of what to say in a conversation? It's never going to be perfect. So the goal here is not to be a perfect human being. The goal is to get your anxiety levels down to the point where it's not controlling your life. You move beyond the control of it, and you stop shaming yourself because the anxiety is there. Because even when you get to that point, you're going to lose your train of thought here and there. Your voice might shake here and there. You get nervous. You might get in your head sometimes, okay? But that doesn't make you defective. It makes you human. It makes you just like everybody else. Okay, when I was working on my social anxiety, I had to learn this the hard way. So I would say 2017 is when I was working the hardest at it. So I was going to support groups. I was going to see doctors. I remember I had registered to see book a call for a speech pathologist because I felt like I couldn't hear and words weren't getting in. I was researching, social skills and confidence, and I was doing CBT and I was doing hypnosis. I was doing all of these different things. And I remember a friend of mine, he pointed out to me one day, he's like, you're looking really hard for an answer, hey? And it kind of hit me when he said that. He's like, you're searching really hard for something. Okay, and it made me think, it kind of made me take a step back, and it's like, what if what I'm looking for doesn't exist? You know, it kind of hit me, I kind of took that in. I didn't take it too seriously at the time, because then I kept searching and I kept searching. And then I started getting into working with spiritual mentors, you could call them spiritual gurus, okay? And I remember going through a few programs, and this one program in particular, it was under the mentorship or under trying to learn from this you could call him a guru. Think of like you could think of Eckhart Tolle, right? Eckhart Tolle, that level of spiritual development, that level of enlightenment, and that type of demeanor, just super spiritual, calm, just being in the present. You just feel so comforted, you feel so loved, you feel so cared for. And the same level of authority, the same level of reach, the same level of fame. Okay, so I was in one of these groups, and the thing was, I was really looking for that answer. Like, I saw the American kind of entrepreneurs, the personal development guys, charisma, confidence, right? And there's the therapist and the psychologist, and then there was the spiritual gurus. Okay, for me, the spiritual mentors. On this side, yes, okay, going after goals, action-oriented, it's extremely important stuff. But at that time, I just wanted peace. I couldn't speak in front of people with my mind going blank, the overwhelming symptoms, voices shaking, humiliating myself in front of people, can't talk to people because I'm so stuck in my head to the point where I'm freaking out and panicking inside, having panic attacks, okay? So I didn't look at that time to the more so personal development, the social skills, the confidence. I was just looking for some inner peace, right? And I think for all of us, when we look for inner peace, we look for the spiritual leadership. And so I remember this key moment. This is the gift of the universe. The universe is always trying to teach you something. And I received this gift here, although I didn't receive it right away. I'll explain this in just a second. But I was in this group, okay? We're on a call. And, the spiritual mentor, he's teaching us about all of these principles, and we're going through everything, and just it's such an amazing call, incredible call. It always was. But I remember this one moment where the topic of money came up, and a friend of mine, he brought up this topic of money, and the spiritual mentor got triggered. He got activated, and he got triggered. And in that moment, I did one of these things where I'm like, oh, geez, like, what is going on? Like, geez, like, Santa Claus isn't real? Like, what the hell's going on here? Because once again, the issue wasn't that the spiritual mentor got triggered. It was my expectation. It was me looking for someone who's perfect so that they could teach me how to be perfect and never be triggered again. That was the issue. That's where I was at the time. So my first reaction was, what's the point of even doing this work? Like, he's getting triggered. What's the point of this? Why even do this work if you're still going to get triggered? Like, geez, like, I don't even want to do this anymore. But then I remember I was reflecting a couple of days after, and I was writing in my journal, and I felt such a relief come through me. Just an abundance, just a flow of relief just overcome me. And I remember writing it myself, and it was like, what's the point is the question I was asking before. Like, well, if he can't do it, why would I even try to do that? And then I'm still getting triggered, okay? And I was writing in my journal at the time, and then I said to myself, I said, Rubin, what if you're missing the point completely? What if that is the point? What if the point is to be imperfect and to embrace it? Okay? And then I started reflecting some more on that call that I was on, where I saw my spiritual mentor get triggered. And I started reflecting, and then this came to me. He got triggered, but he didn't spiral. He had a reaction, but he didn't spiral into negative thinking, and then someone had pointed out to him, and he handled it so gracefully. He was so humble. You could see the spiritual work that he was doing. It came through. So although he had a reaction, he was able to come back quicker. So what I want to say to you, what I want you to become aware of, picture, Eckhart Tolle type of spiritual development. Those individuals that you're looking up to on the internet, maybe you're studying under them, reading their books and stuff, they still have reactions. They're still human. They have reactions, they have negative feelings and thinkings that come up all the time. But the point is, they don't stay there. It doesn't make them spiral out of control. They're able to come back quicker. They're able to accept that they're having this human experience and not get into the place where they're thinking they're defective because they had a reaction to somebody. So what I want to ask you is, the people, some of the most enlightened people that are walking the earth, I've had the privilege of being in the circles with them. And I've seen them get triggered. And so for you, knowing that, so this mentor that I'm thinking in particular, it's just an incredible, beautiful human being. I love him. I love him deeply. I love him dearly. He means a lot to me. I would say almost at the end of life, in his 80s, still not perfect. Okay? Still not perfect. But what he's done in the world is just incredible. So he's done it imperfectly. So what I want to ask you, knowing that you could be at the end of your life and still have issues, still have some conflicts inside yourself, still have conflicts with other people at the end of your life. That's a reality. And I want to ask you, if that's the case, how would you show up today? If that's the case and you don't have to wait till you're perfect to start living your life, what is something you can do today to embrace and reward yourself for being exactly who you are today, and for you being exactly where you need to be in terms of your development? Okay? Stop running on that praise deficit. Your whole life, nothing was ever good enough. It wasn't good enough for your parents. It wasn't good enough for your teachers. It wasn't good enough for your friend group. So don't use this social anxiety recovery as another thing to be perfect at so that you can be accepted by others. Okay? I want you to start accepting yourself. That doesn't mean you accept the anxiety. That means you accept your starting place so you can start putting one foot in front of the other and evolving. But you have to start where you stand, okay? In our program, I'm always getting on my students about rewarding themselves. Please celebrate yourself. Please reward yourself. And this is actually one of the hardest things for our students to do, always, because they're so used to living in deprivation, not acknowledging themselves, going through the motions, not celebrating themselves. That's what they're used to. That's the norm, okay? But we want to disrupt this pattern because you do deserve it. You are worthy of being kind to yourself, okay? So if you need more help with this, what I want to do, I want to offer you a free masterclass. I'm going to put the link below the video. Take that masterclass. I really want you to take that because it's going to show you the step-by-step process for reducing that social anxiety, owning your value, and being able to express yourself fearlessly, okay? So make sure you take that masterclass. Also, if you're still with me, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you staying with me until the end. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon on the next video. Here's some other videos you can check out next. We'll talk soon, okay? Peace out.